Welcome to the What's New in the Meta Customizations Catalog Power Hour this afternoon. We wanted to start just as a reminder, making sure all of our catalog users know where to access the customization documentation that we have. When you are in your PowerSchool SIS environments, we're in a training environment here on my screen. When you're in your PowerSchool SIS, if you click on the help icon, and you will see meta documentation. And when you click on the meta documentation, it opens in a new tab. In the tab, you will see all of the customizations documentation. Here you will be listed. So a lot of our customizations have setup and preferences and things, just again highlighting what the customization does, how you can use it. We strive to keep these updated. There are some that we are in the process of updating now that we have some new enhancements. But again, this is where you can access our documentation. The presentation for today, you will find that it's the September 2025 What's New in the Meta Customizations Catalog. So the PowerPoint presentation that we're going to go through, you're welcome to download, and you have that to reference as you need it within your environments. Not only the meta documentation that's found in the help icon on your blue navigation bar, but you'll also know that within the applications menu, the category here on the left-hand side, you'll see the meta catalog link. When you click on that link, you can also access meta documentation right here. And again, it'll open in a new tab where you can have access to our documentation. But we also wanted to make sure to highlight this is fairly new. The past few months, it was, I believe, the end of last year, the change log that was added within our navigation paths here. The change log is another way to stay up to date with changes that we've made to the catalog. Again, any new enhancements, any updates, any bug fixes, you will see those listed in the change log. It'll let you know what release version, the date that version was released, and what the customization is, and then information on what the change was that took place. And we've highlighted, again, this is our test box, so we see some of the beta stuff, but you would see enhancements, bug fixes, updates, again, as needed, and you can read what those are. So it's another place to navigate to, again, take a look at what has been updated and changed within those customizations. And with that, I will go ahead and share my screen. Or I'm already sharing. I'm going to start the PowerPoint here. There we go. So what's new in the Meta Customizations Catalog? So this is for September 2025. So again, we talked about in May, we gave a sneak peek of some things that we're going to look forward to for this September back to school release. So we're excited to go through those. You'll notice meta updates. So on your start page, on the Meta Solutions logo, you've seen this for a while now. You see that number badge, and it always displays updates that are available. When you click on that Meta Solutions logo now, what you'll notice is the slide out has been updated. So all of the meta updates are now listed here at the top. Those updates, they include the installer, community plugins, and alert builder. So if you have any installer updates, that red number badge, that's what's going to identify first with the catalog. Those are the priority number badges, updates, letting you know what you have available. Your community plugins, those are the non-meta external plugins that you may or may not be using within your environments. Community plugins is a way to view those plugins to see what other users are using and what they like. If you haven't enabled community plugins, we highly suggest you enable and utilize it. All of the catalog users, all of the meta districts, Anyone is welcome to participate as a community plugin user. It's additionally free on the Exchange. So not only catalog users or meta districts, it's anyone who has downloaded community plugins from the Exchange is part of that community group, and they're able to suggest and vote on plugins that are favorable and really enhance PowerSchool. And then, of course, the alert builder. So now you will be able to see on this slide out from the start page if you have any alerts that you have downloaded from community that have been updated by the creator of the alert. If there's a new version available, they will display here that you have an update found. Some updates for alerts, they consist of adding to the alert. So the creator has added additional items to it. Some updates include some tweaks, not necessarily bugs, but to make it function in a different manner. That's what some of the updates are. And when you navigate to the community, that's where you can see what those updates are. So you can see whether you want to apply that update or not. But again, all of those are on the slide out, so you can see all of those meta updates right there front and center. You'll also notice the enabled customizations. The catalog is going to be the first entry here underneath enabled customizations. If you click on this link, it'll take you to the catalog itself. So those are some additions to the meta updates from the start page. Report card. So with the report card, we did have a couple of bug fixes. Again, with bugs, some districts, you may not have noticed these bugs, but again, we like to highlight and make sure that districts know there was a bug and what that was and that it's been fixed. On a student's individual page, on their other info page, you have the option to check mark the box to hide their current report card from the parent portal. Per student, individual student, yes. When this checkbox was selected, there was a bug that it was not hiding it. So this has been fixed. So if you need to now hide individual student report cards for various reasons, you'll be able to do so by check marking that box. The bug has been corrected. Additionally, there with the report card, there was a bug that any bad characters in the school info header. So this section right here at the top, some bad characters, if it was entered in the school info, on the school's info page, it was stopping the report card from loading. The report card was trying to generate and process, but that bad character was not allowing it to load. So we have corrected that issue as well. Additionally, this may have been something you, again, may or may not have noticed for summer school. There was an issue where the header data here, again, this school header information, it was showing information from the wrong school. And this was happening in the scenario when a student was enrolled in multiple buildings. So again, they had their regular, elementary school, but they were also enrolled in the summer school. And so during that summertime, it was identified and corrected that the summer school building, the correct building, was now being displayed on the report card. We have an enhancement to the report card. So what we have added, something new to the report card, you can now add grade and score descriptions to your report cards if you want. So this is a setting that you would go to your report card settings and you would select to display the grade score descriptions. But you can see here in the example, we have one both traditional and standards grades. But like for standards grades, sometimes districts have E for exceeds or M for mastered, so on and so forth. If you want those descriptions to be displayed and not necessarily the E or the M, you can now select in the report card settings to have those displayed. You can see that it will display with the grade or the score. You can, again, within settings, you can select to display one or the other or both. Again, whichever you prefer for your district that you need to have displayed on your report cards. Also, report cards. We love our report cards. We have lots of things with our report cards. We think they're pretty fantastic. But with the report cards, you'll know that after your end of year process, previously there were report card settings that users would have in the past. They would have to reconfigure each year after end of year. Now we have added this migration settings. It'll be your current year migration settings. This setting allows you to select those previous options and migrate those settings that you had from last year to this year. So there you can see there's a list of the settings that need to be set for the new school year. And you can now select the settings from the prior year to be migrated to the current year. And so these include terms, and that means your excluded terms, school, year, store code, any of those things that were excluded last year. Do you want to migrate those over to this year? Final grades, those are excluded final grades that you had. Again, those 24, 25 settings, excluded final grades. Do you want those to be migrated to 25, 26? And then finally, report card messages. So if you had district or school header or footer messages, or a combination of all the above, those you can now select to migrate. You can select one or more of these options, again, however you need to migrate those settings over to 25, 26. You will see this migration settings when you come to your report card settings for the first time for the new school year. So chances are a few of you on the call have probably maybe already gone to your report card settings and you've seen this message. If you haven't yet, you can expect to see that. You'll see this prompt again to migrate those prior year settings to this year. Once you migrate those, you won't see this message again until after end of year process has been run for this year.
And if you don't want to migrate, you can uncheck.
Yes, and if you do not want to migrate the settings, all you need to do is uncheck the boxes. So you can do 1, 2, all, or none. Again, whichever items you want to migrate over. And you simply click the migrate button. Meta report card. So again, another enhancement. There is an exclude option now on the historical grades page for students when you are using the single and multiple entries. So previously, when you would enter a student's grades from a previous school, maybe that was transferring into your school, and you didn't want these grades to show on the report card, there wasn't an option before. So you will see now where there is an option to exclude those grades that you're manually entered either on a single entry or multiple entry page. You'll have that option to hide those, exclude those from the report card. All right, our next update is with student field value. This is an enhancement. This customization, this enhancement, it prevents unintended field updates when a wildcard value is selected. So what it's going to do, it's going to show you this warning message. So when you are using student field value and you are trying to update for a group of students on a field that includes a wildcard, you will see this warning message letting you know you're not able to use student field value with wildcards. And it gives you the option, you can use Quick Import, Data Import Manager, or DDA to update that field. We've given an example here. This is an Ohio State field where we wanted to update the field. And again, those wildcards, that asterisk right there, we're not able to use student field values. So again, this is where we see the message letting us know we need to use one of these other methods to update our group of students. All right, Alert Builder. So we've had a lot of updates on the Alert Builder this past summer. You may have seen some of those. Again, those of you that joined us last week for our Alert Builder call, you may have seen some of these since then. If you weren't on last week's call, you're welcome to visit our PowerSchool YouTube channel, and you can view the video there if you weren't able to attend. But with the Alert Builder, some of the updates that we have made, one of them is with the icon size. So when you are building an alert, you now have sizing options. You can add icons to be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, different options here that you can choose from. We see this when you're uploading images of your own. Not necessarily the ones that are in the icon library. You maybe have a district logo or something that you're using, and you need it maybe to be resized to match the alerts that are already on the student line. So this allows you to make them small or smaller. And then, of course, there's the default, or you can make it large, larger, and largest. What this looks like on the student line, you can see here below. These are the sizing options. So your 3 is your default size, and you can see where you can make them smaller and larger as needed. With the Alert Builder, we also have added an admin top row. So admin top row is specifically for the admin portal only. So not in your teacher or public portal, just in the admin portal. You have the option to display the alert icon to the right of the student name or the student carousel if you have multiple students in your selection. So what this looks like, again, if you're selecting this admin top row, this is where we're talking about where it will be displayed, right here to the right of your student name or your student carousel. So you see your student line and your alerts are all below here. You now have the option to add alerts to this top row. Again, this is for the admin portal only. But what you will also notice is if you select the admin top row option, you'll notice that the alert icon is going to match the PowerSchool blue coloring scheme here on the admin top row. So we built an alert, we have a colorful bird, but when we select admin top row, it's going to match that blue PowerSchool coloring scheme here. You can use this alert if we wanted this alert to be pushed out to the teacher and the public portal. We can still select these other portals to have this alert pushed out to. It will appear on the student line in full color in the teacher and public portal. So again, the admin top row is only the admin portal where it'll have that PowerSchool blue. Next, we have Docked. So Docked is a slide out drawer that will appear on the right-hand side. So you users know that when you have alerts and you click on them, you're very familiar with a pop-up appearing in the middle of the page. In the background of the page, it grays out and you see your pop-up. Now we have a docked option. So when you select the docked option, instead of having a pop-up in the middle, you'll have a slide out drawer here on the right-hand side, and it will stay open on the page until you close it. So, it gives you a little bit more flexibility with your alerts and how you want them to be displayed. We also have an unlock UI option, and it unlocks the page so the user can scroll the page and make edits as needed. So if we look at this, we have this alert on the admin top row here. And we have it as a docked option, so we see that slide out drawer. But with the unlock UI, you can see we're now able to scroll the page, and then we can close that, that alert. So again, previously with your alerts, whether they popped up or even with dock, the background page is going to be kind of grayed out and it would be locked. you now have the option to unlock the page. And again, what that looks like, if you have a pop-up window, again, your admin top row alert, if we click on it, we see our pop-up with our information here listed, but we are now able to scroll the page. And we can even move this pop-up if we wanted to move it into the corner. But what is nice, we're able to make changes to the page. So you can see we can enter information as needed, and we can submit that information and make that change needed on the page, all with having our alert pop-up open. So that'll work for both the pop-up and for the docked option. Just something we noticed, and maybe it's worth mentioning, if you have the docked option and you want to unlock your UI, a lot of times the submit button is in the bottom right hand corner. So if you want your users to be able to interact on the page with the pop-up open, you would probably want to use just your standard pop-up and not the docked option. But again, that's up to you as however you need to build your alerts. Another thing to note with these new options, while you're in the alert builder and you're building alerts, as you hover over each of these new options, a brief little description will pop up and tell you what each option is. So again, just giving you a little bit more information when you're building your alerts. Also within the alert builder, we've added the created by and modified information on the alerts. So after you build your alerts, so when you're building a brand new alert, you won't see this yet. It's after it's been created. But once an alert has been built and you open up that alert later, you will see when it was created and by who. And then if it's been modified, you'll see who has modified it and when they modified it. So that information will now be displayed on the general page, the general tab of the alerts. With the alert builder, we also have added a checkbox option for the Boolean simple trigger fields. This is just to make it easier when you're creating these alerts. It's making the trigger easier. So again, for our example here on the page, we have a marching band activity. That could be that field, that Boolean field could be a true, could be a false, it could be a T, an F, a 1, yes, it could be a combination or any of the, not a combination, but it could be any of those. And so instead of, trying to guess the user who is building these, we've simply made it a checkmark box. So if you're using a trigger for any of your Boolean fields, you'll be able just to select the checkbox. That makes it very easy when building your alerts. With the alert builder, we've also added 2 alert builder reports. So those of you who have run alert builder reports before, you're able to select a group of students, navigate to alert builder reports. You can select your alert and you see you have a selected group of students, and then you have a numbered amount of students for that alert that you're running. Previously, you could make them your current selection, which was super nice. It adds them to, or it makes them your current selection on your start page. So we would have all 4 of these students and we could work with them as needed within PowerSchool. The option now that we've added is remove from selection. So again, if we had a group of students, in this case 436 students, and we needed to remove the students that had a certain alert, we could select that alert and remove them from the selection. So then our start page would only have 432. So it's just another way, an enhancement to our alert builder reports, how you can work with your students when you're running those reports. Alert builder community, we have added 2 alerts to the alert builder community that you have the option to visit community, and you can download to use as you see fit within your districts. We do have a Find Me alert and a health office visits alert. So with the Find Me alert, This will add the Find Me alert to the admin top row right here to the right of the student carousel. Now you'll know that PowerSchool has a Find Me alert, and it is usually the first icon displayed to the right of the student carousel. What we have done with our Find Me alert, we have added information to the Find Me alert, like school phone number. So we have added options to our Find Me alert pop up here. And so if you download and use the Find Me alert that we've made available in Alert Builder Community, it will automatically hide PowerSchool's Find Me alert, and it will display our Alert Builder Find Me alert. So that way you're not seeing both of them. So if you want to see the additional information on Find Me, you can absolutely download from the community our alert to use. You'll note on the admin top row and within the under the student line, PowerSchool alerts are always displayed first, and then any alerts built in the Alert Builder, they would come after. So again, you would notice PowerSchool's Find Me alert would be first if you're using it. If you decide to use ours, it will be placed after the print or report icon. The other alert that we have available in the community, it's a health office visits alert. This way, if your health staff need to know how many health office visits a student has had for the year, you can enable, you can download and use this health office visits alert that will display how many, again, how many health office visits a student has had for the current year. Contact photos. So contact photos, we have added the ability to add contact photo to a contacts record. So when you enable this customization, you'll see on the right-hand side where you can upload a photo for the contact record. You click on that, select your image, and then you'll see it displayed here. Some of our districts use this in the scenario when they have volunteers at the district, and they record their volunteers as contact records in PowerSchool, and they want to associate an image with that volunteer, they can do so. Or if you have images for your contacts for other purposes, you may use them. You now have the option to add a photo to those contact records. This is individually at this time. You have to upload those images individually by record. So there's not a mass upload at this time. Okay, next is our state assessments enhancement. So on state assessments, previously there was, it wasn't a bug, it was just how the page was functioning. If you were on a certain tab and you navigated to the next student, it was not preserving the tab that you were on, nor the performance levels. So now as you navigate through your group of students, it's going to keep the tab open that you're on. It's going to keep those performance levels that you're on, and it's going to show the information as you scroll through your group of students. So if you needed to see all of your students' end of course tests and you wanted to stay on the end of course tab as you scroll through, it would keep that open. We have some fee enhancements, updates that we have. So with the fee ledger, since PowerSchool now has this within one of its latest releases, it now has a fee ledger that PowerSchool has added. So if you were a district where you were using this customization, you may want to keep using this customization, or you may want to use PowerSchool's again, what they have in their fee ledger within their latest release. What you can do, again, if you want to migrate from our customization to PowerSchool's fee ledger, that would be a manual entry. You would be taking the information from the Meta fee ledger to the PowerSchool fee ledger if you wanted to. Or again, you could continue using our fee ledger. That would be up to you. There is a way within Meta Locale you can update the fee ledger header. Again, if this is something that your district is using. Within our fee ledger, it does allow for, I think, 40 plus characters, I believe. So if you need to have a lot of characters within your fee ledger, that may be an option to continue with the meta customization. Sarah speaks better fees than I do. So did I miss anything with fee ledger, Sarah?
No.
Okay,
No.
good. Okay, making sure I cover that. We have some other fee updates. We added to the fee types page. You will see that there is an added initial fee value to the edit fee type page. Additionally, on the edit fee type page, you'll see a no longer in use checkbox. So if it's a fee, pretty self-explanatory that you're no longer using, you can check mark that box, and you can also use the initial fee amount as needed within your district. And additionally, on the fee types page, this is at the school level, you'll notice we have the 3 columns. We have the description, we have the ledger, and the no longer in use column. So again, these are on the fee types page. This is at the school level. Any of those fees that have been marked as no longer in use, you'll see those with a green check mark notated accordingly. You'll also notice, again, this is at the school level, but we see that we have field trip here. It is not the blue hyperlink like our other fees. This field trip fee is a district level fee. So we know that because it's not the blue hyperlink. So it's an easy way to distinguish between the two. Just pointing that out. And I believe lastly with fees, we've updated the school column. So it will now display the school where that fee was assessed. So you can see our student is at the high school, but these fees were assessed at the middle school, so it's going to notate that accordingly. And on the fee history page, we also have the school column. Again, it's going to show where the fees were assessed, which building those fees were assessed. But if you are on a student that has a lengthy fee history, as you scroll down, you'll see that header bar does stay in place now. So that's easy. As you scroll down to look at those fees, you'll have those headers here at the top to help you know what you're looking at on that student's fee history page. All right, we do have some reminders that we would like to share. Report cards. So most of you, you know, report cards are right around the corner. Time flies when you live in school years. So we've made it through the first day of school, and right around the corner is going to be the end of your first terms. We encourage you and would highly suggest that you look at your student report cards now. You're looking at the traditional and the standards report cards. You're looking at each grade level. You're looking at the information, making sure the report card is displaying how you want it to display. If you've had any updates over the summer with your courses or with your standards, now is the time to make sure they're displaying as you want them to on the report card. You may not see the grades and information yet, you know, as those would, you know, if your traditional report cards, they would display once you store the grades. But again, you're looking at all those other areas of the report cards. We encourage you and highly suggest that you look at those. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at our ps.customizations email address, and we will help take a look at your report cards and help you get them set up as needed for your students, for your parents. A lot of times the terms are ending in, you know, a 2-week window. And if we get a call that you know you need to print them within the hour, we're happy to hop on it and get it, you know, look at it and get it corrected. But it does allow for better communication if we're proactive and looking at it ahead of time as much as we can. Also, reminders, we mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that you will now see on the meta updates. You'll see when you have alert builder updates. We just remind you to check out community, see what new alerts are available that you might want to use and download, but you also check out those updates that you have. So when you go to the alert builder, when you're on alerts, your alerts page, you'll see if you have any alerts where there is a download update available. As you click on that, a pop-up will appear, and again, it'll give you information on what is contained within the update, so you can proceed accordingly. Also, if you're on the community tab, again, you can see any new alerts that maybe you want to use, or that you'll also see updates available on the community page for any of those alerts that you currently have downloaded. We keep encouraging our districts, as you build alerts, feel free. We would love to see you share those within community. Usually when one district needs an alert for a purpose, another district would need it as well. So we love to see our alert builder grow and share the wealth of the alerts. Community plugins, we also talked about this a little bit earlier. Just a reminder, check out your community plugins. Look for any updates that you have available. Do you want to update this version? Do you want to skip it? Again, checking for those items that you have, those plugins that you have installed and enabled on your servers, and proceeding with the updates as you want to. You'll also see within community plugins, like we said, you'll see other plugins that are suggested by other community plugins users. Again, a good way to share some information amongst all of the users. And then lastly, just a reminder that this copy is in our meta documentation library, where we showed you at the beginning, where you can access it, this PowerPoint presentation, as well as all of our documentation. Here is our email. Again, reach out at ps.customizations with any questions that you have. We're happy to answer those. But that is our back to school update and release. We have time. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer any questions that you have on any of these items that we've gone over today, or just any questions in general about the catalog.
We have one from Sandra.
Okay.
The Alert Builder reports an additional plugin. I have Alert Builder installed, but do not see the alert building reports. That's really your transcript, I think, is how we want to answer that.
I think the Alert Builder reports, I'm just looking here in the installer. So I believe, is that with the reports, is with the reports, catalog reports within that plugin.
So yeah, but
okay,
we don't.
Does that? Okay, so yeah, with Alert Builder reports, that's where you're running the reports on alerts that have been built. With the Meta Report Builder, that is primarily with our transcripts that we help districts build out. We are still working on development within the builder to hopefully get some documentation on some very basic reports that could be used. Hopefully soon we'll have those, but that is the difference between the two. The Alert Builder reports strictly for the alerts, and then the Meta Report Builder for the transcripts. Yes, good question.
And Stephanie's typing something.
Okay. Yeah, we thank you for joining this afternoon. We're going to stay on for a little while, so please feel free to stay and ask questions. If there's something you want to look at, we're happy to do so.
And if you have an issue, put a ticket in.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie said, we just recently started using the state assessments where admin, teachers, parents could see the test results. I noticed some issues with which scores are displaying on the other tab, and I am not sure if it's an issue or something else. Like under CTE Technical Assistant Assessment, a reading score for kindergarten is showing, and under kindergarten readiness, CTE results are showing. I would put a ticket in. Let us look at that.
Yeah, you can, Stephanie, if you want to reach out to us in a ticket, we'd be happy to dive into that. With the state assessments that you're displaying, when you come to the state assessment setup page here, and that's district management, academics, state assessment setup, you can see the categories here, and then the assessment code, assessment name, and this is the Ohio EMIS codes listed here. I would guess that is where your other is coming from, but if you want to submit a ticket to us, we'd be happy to take a look at that.
Melanie said, can you talk about the fees one that is coming out in November?
Let's take a look here. So when, again, within the catalog navigation links, we talked about meta documentation and the change log, and the catalog is a list all where you can see everything. Latest is a place where you can go to see what we have within the last 30 days, any of those enhancements, updates, bug fixes that have happened, but you'll also notice any future releases. So when you're on that latest tab, you can kind of get a little glimpse into what we will be working on and slated to be released in the future. So with the fees edit, that is going to be the ability to edit the fees without DDA.
That's our goal, is so that you don't have to go to DDA to do it. In the meantime, though, PowerSchool just came out with some fee enhancements. So that's why this one kind of got pushed back a little bit till we really investigate what theirs is going to do to see what we need to do.
We've had a lot of, or we have seen a lot of PowerSchool updates within fee management. And I believe this coincides with the My Power Hub that they have within the fee management that's on the My Power Hub side as well. So we have seen within the PowerSchool releases an increased amount of updates to their fees. So that, like we said, a couple of them we mentioned just in our back to school release, and this one is one that we had slated and we did push it back, like Sarah said, intentionally. We're looking to see what updates PowerSchool has within their edit, but yes, we are looking to hopefully be able to add the option where you don't have to go to DDA in order to edit student fees as needed. Barring any update from PowerSchool, that will be a release within our catalog in November.
Okay, great. She said great.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions?
Is there a way to have the district of residents pull on the meta report card as the name of the district instead of the IRN? I may have put a ticket in. Yes.
Yes.
Denise did put a ticket in, and I did answer that, but we can say yes.
Yes. So within the report card, there is a way to show, just as you had here, a way to have the district of residence put on the report card, I believe, in a custom field. Is that what we're referring to?
Yeah.
Yes. So go ahead. Okay. Okay.
So
perfect. Yeah, so within the custom fields of the report card, so that's within district management, academics, and then custom fields, you have the ability to add up to 12 custom fields. So if you're gathering information within your districts that they want to have displayed on the report card, this is where you could add it here. Just as in the example that you had where you want to pull the district of residence, but maybe within your PowerSchool that is a number and you want it to display actually the student name. We can do that within a data access tag within that evaluate option that we can put within this custom field. I'm pulling up another test environment just to give a kind of an example to show you what they could look like. Okay. And I'm pulling up here. When I share on Teams or Zoom, my computer runs a little bit slower. It likes to make me work on my patience. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we'll pull this over here. So this is an example from one of our other test boxes. And these are, attendance and some discipline examples. But yes, this is where you can add those data access tags. And absolutely, if you have where we need to add additional information where it's taking the value as a number and displaying what you have as the district name, absolutely, we can assist with that.
And I'm going to put that in the chat.
Okay, and Sarah's going to put it in the chat.
But it is.
Denise. Okay, perfect. Yep, she's going to put that in the chat, Denise, where you can add the information to the custom field setup. And excuse me, at the custom field setup, we're at the district office. So if this is something you want for all of the students at the building, obviously you would add it at the district level. If you want it to only be at a specific building, a high school or whatever other building, you would want to navigate to your building and then again, go to the custom field setup for that building specifically only. And that's under school management, academics, and then the custom fields at the building level.
Okay, what else you got?
Perfect. We're here. We love to answer any of these questions. Again, like we said, we could talk customizations for forever. So feel free to ask us anything.
I will say, Julia just put a ticket in, and somebody else had mentioned this, that some of the alerts don't display consistently.
Okay.
So one of the things is to make sure that you have the alert from the alert builder and not from the legacy. From the catalog, the old legacy ones, you want to make sure that your alert really is from the alert builder. Julie did the right thing, put in a ticket, and we'll look at it, but that's something to look at.
That's a good reminder. Yes, you'll notice I navigated here to applications, meta catalog, and then I went to the alerts category. When I'm on the alerts category, you will see all of the alerts that are or were previously available within the catalog. These alerts that are labeled as legacy alerts, they have now been moved to the alert builder community. So if you are using any of these legacy alerts, what you'll want to do is go to the Alert Builder community and you'll want to download the alert. And then as you do with all of your community alerts that you download, you want to then open the alert and select which portals you want to push it out to. When you're in the catalog and you click on these legacy alerts, it's going to give you an important note here. This whole section just covers what we just said, that this alert has been moved to community and you'll want to download it and then select the portals that you want the alert to be pushed out to. So I believe there are 6, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I missed one. Oh no, a couple more.
8 maybe.
8, 9. So we've got all of them. Again, they're labeled with legacy alert. As you click on them, you'll see the instructions on what you need to do to navigate to the builder to download and use that. Once you go to the community and you download the alert and you select the portals to push it out to, you'll want to come back to the catalog and you want to click on the enabled, which will disable it. You want to disable the customization in the catalog. And that way it won't be displaying twice on your student line or in any of the portals. These legacy alerts, they will be leaving the catalog altogether fairly soon. So you want to make sure any of these alerts that you are currently using that you have enabled, make sure that you're going to the alert builder to download those so you can continue using them. That's a good reminder. Thank you for that.
Okay. We appreciate everybody being on the call and everyone who's reached out to us.